Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Base 1. We're taking our first look here today at the custom game / sandbox building mode in this game. If you've ever wanted to build your very own space station, then this is the game for you, with elements of Space Haven and also maybe a little bit of Planet Base and a few other games that you've played before. This game is certainly one to keep an eye on as it comes out on May 11th. Thanks again for subscribing here as we rocket towards 1 million subs. Everybody who subs here and is subbed can now say that they were in before the big million. So thanks again for all the support and smashing like. This game, again, coming out on May 11th, has a lot of promise here. I've already completed one of the campaigns and got cracking on a whole nother campaign too. We'll jump back into the campaign and maybe stream that sometime in the future. So again, make sure you turn on the notification bell, and if we get additional keys to the game, they go to those on our Discord. So make sure you check that in the description too. Start ourselves a custom game and see what lies in store for us as we now set up our own custom game. Looks like we have several maps to explore. I don't know if anything's different here aside from really just the background here, but it seems to be most interesting to maybe go to the Landcar Gordon planet. That seems very beautiful. I guess we'll go there. And then let's see, our maximum station days at 120 days. Looks like this is going to be a survival then. We can try to survive for 60, 90, or 120 days to complete the game, or go infinite, so that's good. Then we have options for day-night cycle, and I think for just purposes of being able to see stuff, I'm just going to bump it up a little bit for day. Although it does... Oh, I see there's only 3 settings here. So it does affect how... like power and stuff from your solar panels. I guess it does make a little small change to the game, so that's kind of cool. Characters, credits. I guess we'll just start at the easiest settings. I guess this is all fine. As we're just taking our first look, I'm curious to see how it functions more than challenge myself. We can do that another time. Go ahead and start the game and see how it goes. Begin now. And here we are. Our little hub. How wonderful. It's deploying its little solar panels. Cool. Let's see, loyalty points. Loyalty points, special type of currency that exchange for credits, other services in custom game mode. The main source of points. Communication screen. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm familiar with some of this from before. So that looks good. And let's find our planet. Is it around here somewhere? There it is. Wow, is that the one that's going to sustain life? Ooh, I see lightning down on the surface, and its very own moon too. Interesting. All right, well, let's go ahead and start building then, and let's see what's on board. Looks like we have a few people here ready to go. All right, well, at the start, there's a few things that we should start building. So, of course, we want to build ourselves the little, let's see here, I'm just trying to see if anything's new. Solar panels is what we're going to look for. Life support, though, and everything else kind of have to be invented by our crew. So we'll start with the solar panels, and then we'll store all that stuff in the life support department. And we'll try to build everything nice and tight together. Less distance between compartments means less walking for our crew, and that means more things can get done. Let's go ahead and try to build these as close as possible. There we go. So there goes the crew out into space to build the solar panels, and then the life support building there, which of course then we can start putting devices in. We'll have food dispensers, looks like our science station, a few other things that we've unlocked and seen before. It's a basic start until we get the science lab up and try to get more people here, and then they can start working on the science. Essentially, this is like playing Surviving Mars, where you're preparing for the first people to arrive on the planet, and you have to, of course, build the oxygen and water and heating modules in order to get the dome ready to go. In this case, it's kind of the same with the solar panels being readied for heat and oxygen production by powering the other things on the other side, which are known as the ELDs, the something life somethings. I forget exactly what they are, but basically they make oxygen and heat and require logistics. All right. I also noticed there was an option in the settings too to automatically deal with connecting of power and logistics, which I found to be quite annoying and seemed like busy work before, but of course you can turn that on and off, so it doesn't matter too much. All right. Well, I think we should also build ourselves a canteen and some lounges and such. What do we have for parts? We have 235 modules and 300 construction M's for modules and construction D for devices. So we'll go ahead and build a canteen there and maybe a lounge, and then we'll build ourselves 2 crew quarters. There we go. So these are going to be standard no matter what. We need these things. Eventually we'll go into farming and some other such things, and eventually we'll be able to be self-sufficient rather than ordering things from external connections. Okay, so there we go. We want to connect that to here as soon as the battery is ready. It looks like we'll still have to do that the same. Now they're working on the small life support, Looks like we started with several different people, too.
Okay. I've just completed the module assembly.
Excellent work. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the devices under furniture. We'll build ourselves one of the batteries, which is needed to receive power from the solar panels and then distribute it to the other sections, as well as the ELD. And we want one ELD per room, so we probably want to power the room here and then the 2 lounges. And we'll need another life support thing, so we can probably put it on the back side of this one to have 2 life support modules on the same side. So we'll go with these 3 to start with. Definitely going to need these to power all the rooms. Station modules. Let's go back to small life support. And we'll add another one. Perfect. Alright, things are looking good. Let's check the outside of the station. So construction's already underway. And it looks like traders are zipping by. As soon as we build a dock and a communications thing, we can then start trading with locals. And get everything that we need imported and possibly export things too when we start manufacturing. That'll be very, very good. Okay, so now what we got here is a small canteen and then our lounge and the 2 crew quarters on either side. I think that's going to look cool. I really like the way the buildings look too. If you zoom in, there's really a great amount of detail here. I mean, everything from small lights to panels to maintenance things where things could be plugged in for external power. And what looks to even be like latches here for like if these slide open, these could be windows inside here that the crew could look out if they wanted to. Okay, well, it looks like the canteen is up, so we can go ahead and start preparing things to go in there in the future. So back to furniture. And let's go to food dispenser, drink dispenser. And we'll also go for the tables, too. We'll need some of those for the crew to sit down and have some meals. Then inside the lounge, we'll put down our sofas ×4. Relaxes and restores crew morale. Perfect timing, my man. Excellent work. We'll put those inside the lounge as well. Very good. Now, the crew can still work inside these modules to construct things. They'll just need a spacesuit to do it until oxygen and heat is provided. And if crew have to walk through, let's just say that the hub here was powered and has oxygen, which it does. And let's say the lounge was powered and has oxygen and heat, which it doesn't. They would just pass through. They would just walk through if they needed to get to somewhere. Essentially, it's like them holding their breath. But it's not very comfortable for them to be in there. Kind of annoying, really. Which is kind of weird that you have to provide power and water to each section instead of it being evenly distributed across the whole station. But that kind of makes it like faster than light, where certain sections of the station kind of run out of oxygen. Although I don't think there's any way to open doors to relieve fires and such. We can also be attacked in this game. There are military options in this game to defend yourself from things like asteroids that try to come in, and also enemy raiders that will try to board and take over and kidnap your crew or kill people or whatever they may do. So it's something to be aware of in the future and to be on the lookout for. Now, again, this is our first look, so we will make mistakes. Things may go wrong. So if you have any sort of feedback or tips or whatnot, make sure you leave them down below in the comment section. I'd love to see what ideas you may come up with for how we could lay out the ship or where we can improve upon things. And, of course, with this being a first look, anything we make mistakes with, we'll deploy into our next building. All right, let's go ahead, put down some beds now for our crew members. This basically just allows them to take a little nap. And it also seems like in this game that people do what I think they call hot bunking, where if we have 8 beds, for example, we can have up to, I think, 16 people, where somebody can be on shift at the lab while somebody's sleeping, and then they can take turns. There's a way actually to modify the crew in order to we'll go ahead and skip that, to basically give them jobs. And it looks like these guys are like working 24/7, I think. These are our technicians here who are supposed to be on work time non-stop, which we can adjust later to give them free time and then learning time and athletics to keep them strong and smart.
Just wrapped up the assembly.
Oh, good. And good at their jobs. All right, looks like the first device is going in. That'll be the battery. We'll connect that to the solar panel then and get the battery charged up. Typically, I think maybe about 6 of the ELDs that the battery can charge, and then the battery can also charge other things in the other rooms. Like, for example, I believe the canteen, which is about to have the 2 vending machines in it, do need to be powered. And once those are deployed, things can go quite nicely. Let's speed up time a little bit now. I think we've made a good headway, so we can wait for all the other devices to be deployed before we really start connecting everything. A little bit easier to put it all down once all the devices have been connected. But again, there is the auto connect mode, but we'll go over that and see exactly how it's done. All right, battery's complete, so we'll connect these two. So we'll connect. Oh, it automatically did it. Fantastic. And we can modify this if we want to. That's really good.
Assembly completed.
So let's see if this auto connects. Oh, look at that. Power. Oh, that's wonderful. The power automatically connects. Logistics automatically connects. That's good. That needs to be an option in the future game, I think, in just the campaign. We'll go ahead and power the canteen then, and we'll give them oxygen too. That we still have to do manually because it's good for us to pick and choose that, but everything else is absolutely required. The logistics and power must be done no matter what in order to use them. All right. Looks like another technician going out to the small life support that's remaining, and they're assembling that. Look at that skybox, too. Incredible amount of detail on the skyboxes, things actually moving. Each one of them is very good. The campaign also very interesting, too, and I want to continue on with that. So I'm very happy with what I see here so far for this game, and really excited to see what else might possibly come, and what's kind of part of the game already, I guess. Ooh, and they're doing a lot of construction, too. Good job, everybody. I guess they're doing all right. Okay, let's add some more of these devices, more of the MLDs, or ELDs. And we'll go ahead and put a couple of those down again. Yeah, maybe we'll do 3.
Ready for the next one.
You know what, actually we'll start... Yeah, we'll have to start with 3 because we'll need to power all these modules plus the science. Whoa, that was quite scary. Alright, let's go ahead and power up the rest of these rooms. Let's go with connections.
Finished with the assembly and ready to proceed with the next one.
Excellent work.
Finished with the assembly and ready to proceed with the next one.
Great. Our crew has a wonderful, very good attitude. Okay, we'll heat the remaining buildings with this. And we have one more for the crew's quarters. Alright, so the crew's quarters will be able to be heated with this one. Then we should be able to build a science lab with one more. And then we'll have a backup one just in case. So power and such will still need to be provided from the little solar panel over here. Now this doesn't need to be powered at all. It just kind of is autonomous and is just kind of just required for energy is all it is. It's really just like a wind or a solar panel back on Earth. There's really not many people who have to go there to do any sort of maintenance on it. Over time perhaps, but not immediately. Okay, it looks like we have to provide some oxygen here. Did we prepare the oxygen as well? Perhaps the logistics wasn't connected? No, logistics is connected. They should be creating oxygen and...
Assembly completed.
Maybe it took a second for it to auto-connect. There we go. Alright, let's speed up time. We want... oh, what do we have here? I have no further work assignments. Can you help me?
Assembly completed.
Eventually, we'll have to get everything up and running.
Assembly is all done. Ready for
I believe
the
this
next
is a
one.
scientist. So he's just relaxing in the lounge for now. We need 2 of these projects to be done here.
Assembly completed.
And our crew is capable of actually finishing up all of these tasks themselves. We'll need a dock so we can get more people here. Let's do it. Let's set that up now. They'll build that eventually. Go for the station module. We'll need a docking bay, and I think also a transceiver would be quite useful. Let's go ahead and put a dock next to the lounge, and we'll put it way out here to give us a little bit extra room for some other modules. Good. And we'll put a transceiver on the backside of the station.
Assembly completed. Assembly completed.
Very good. Very good. And we'll also need the science lab, which we can put probably near the communications bay right over here. There we go. Alright, so that's what our station will look like. Now, this is as far as we can go until we start researching things. So eventually we'll be able to build a gym, and then we'll be able to build things like hydroponic farms and other types of things to be more self-sustaining and also to generate more research and to sell things back to get those juicy credits. Once that transceiver is up, the communications will be able to be selected, and then we can import stuff, including requesting more people to come to this station in order to live and work here. Let's go ahead and try to supply them with the remaining things they need. So heat here. Oh, that's already connected there, so we'll go ahead and do heat here instead. And oxygen. Great. And then we'll have to wait until the other buildings are up in order to do that. Then we can supply probably the transceiver with oxygen and heat, so that way they can walk through the lab comfortably, though we don't have to do that, and we'll eventually have to do manufacturing. That's one thing that we haven't yet encountered that we'll have to do eventually. But all part of the plan.
Ready for my next task.
Fantastic. Alright, so anybody who docks with the station can come here, and we can also order parts and food and other things through that too. You can see our oxygen and water levels up here. Oxygen at 1371. So the longer things take, the more we'll have to do on getting that replenished. Oh, looks like we can communicate with a few people. Wow, they look very realistic. Very nicely done. Let's see, level 1 chairman, level 3 coordinator, and a managing director. We can use this to call them for specific requests, or we can order things from supply, such as the construction kits, food, water, emergency rations, soil, etc. Special nutrients for the, more than likely, the farming process. But we have yet to get there. Let's go ahead and uncover the secrets here of our station, and let's go ahead and wait for the science lab to be complete. There comes our crewmate in order to construct that. Oh, look at how cool that looks. Very nice. Alright, that should be done shortly. You know, the only thing I want to see to this game is to actually maybe perhaps see like a small wagon or a cart come out. You know, something that they can store all the parts on and have them grab it and actually put things in place. This is a little simplistic, but honestly, for as short as it takes to make most buildings, you're not missing out on much by not seeing all this stuff be lifted into place and assembled. But it would be a nice little bonus. Let's go ahead and add power and water to this side. We just need heat, actually. So let's add heat and oxygen. Very good. Now we need to connect these to power, I believe. Oh, that looks like it did it automatically. Oh, this should have power. There we go. And I believe power is being received from the solar panel, which is why it's at 992. And the other one's empty because, well, quite frankly, I don't think there's any more sun. We'll have to kind of store more power this way, so that way they can possibly alternate. So we could build one more life support section in order to put batteries in there, so that way we can function day and night. That's something that we'll just have to get to later. This is just basic for now, and I think a very good start to accommodate more people. And of course we'll need more food in order to do that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and build something in the science lab so we can start some research. We'll go to the scientific terminal and get started there. We only have one scientist on board from what I could see. Let's actually make sure that's the case. We have one scientist, yes, Rose Morris, who is very big brain. She's got a very big brain emote down below in the comments section, especially from our members. Well, they also have a salary too. I wonder what she's going to do. Spend it on the station? Actually, I suppose you could, because they could buy their food and such. That'd be kind of neat if there was actually an economy like that. Perk slot unlocked. Okay, I have a lot to learn about this still, so there's a lot of things that I just simply do not know, have not yet mastered, and or just don't even haven't even used yet. Okay, there goes the scientific terminal. We'll speed up time a little bit. Now, we could do double research. We could order another scientist and some parts and things here, but let's see what we have for supplies so far. Looks like we have 50,000 credits to begin, and prices may fluctuate, and we'll have to buy things like spacesuits and emergency rations, chemicals, fruits, vegetables until we can grow and store our own. For now, everyone's just going to eat the basic rations, so that'll be fine. A good start, if you will. Alright, I think we should get somebody up here. I think we should get a few crew members up here. So let's go ahead and do a scientist if we can. We'll go ahead and go with somebody who's cheap here. Here we are, 2183. Probably not the best scientist, but a good start, and will save us some money at the very beginning. And of course, we can train them up too, so they'll become more effective for us. Supply ship ready for launch. This cannot be undone. Proceed? Yes. Actually, I think we can only have one person come up here, but not supplies. Supply ship is on the way. Good. So I don't think we can actually do people and supplies at the same time, but I believe it comes back every 80 hours. So it's about a 40-hour trip to the station and a 40-hour trip back, and then we can buy and sell stuff again, or at least summon the ship to return. Things look really nice so far. I like how these beds and stuff turned out. Let's make sure we've got all of them full. Looks like all the lounge is set up. Looks like we have a few more beds here to build on this second station, so let's do that. We only have a few people here so far, so there'll be plenty of spaces for sleeping. There we go. And it looks like somebody reached a new level. Congratulations. Alright, so now we are out of these parts here, the device M stuff, so we'll have to order that after this ship arrives. And luckily, we'll be able to have 2 scientists take turns on doing some science. And look at that. The terminal is
Assembly complete.
generating science. Fantastic.
The assembly is all done. Ready for the next one.
Ship is docked. Here comes the other scientist.
Finish with the assembly.
And they should
Ready
appear in
to
the
proceed
corridor
with the next one.
soon. Where is he at? There he is. Great. He's going to die in the hallway from lack of oxygen in so long. Oh, he should be okay now. Plenty of oxygen in here. Catch your breath, my friend. Good. Alright, so now we can build another terminal, but that's going to require us to order more parts. So that ship will be leaving now. And that'll return to Earth or wherever it may be coming from. And then we can order more parts when that arrives back at Earth or its base. Okay, so we're going to continue to generate those science points. Let's go to the research tree. So we should be able to invent things in order to build things. So we'll do the easy start branch A, and we'll start with our gym, so that way our people can at least get some exercise, we can take care of them, and we can unlock more important things. We'll then have to go down to things like, for example, manufacturing. We have defense systems up here, life support. Here's some manufacturing there, and we'll probably get started with advanced automatics. But what we really want is a drone in order to go gather things and try to smelt them down. So deep probe scanning and astrology is where we probably want to start. Advanced sciences, technologies down there, communications. Let's go ahead and at least get adaptation out of the way. Or really we should go for astrology, I think. Not enough research points though, we'll need 20. So some are being generated. And as soon as that other ship gets back, we should be able to then order some more parts. So that way we can then eventually make our own self-sufficient science lab. Once we've got manufacturing and drones up, we can bring in more stuff to expand the base. Let's take a look. Are there any asteroids or whatnot around? Wow, look at that planet. Oh, it's actually rotating too, so they had to make a large planet here. Constant storms, it looks like. And perhaps a pole here on the sides? Maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but looks like a giant maybe a landmass or a mountain of some sort. I don't know. Maybe a plateau? Something to think about. Okay, is the ship ready to go? Let's see here if the supply ship is ready. Now, before we order, let's make a little inventory check. We've got 113 and none for those needed parts. So let's go ahead and make an order of, let's say, well, we have 100 remaining here. So I think we should buy probably 100 to get us started. There we go. Buy another 100 here. There we go. And then eventually water and food are probably going to be needed, but for now this will at least allow us to build onto the base. So let's order those now for 8,000. Pretty spendy start. Supply ship ready for launch. The operation cannot be undone. Go ahead. Supply ship on the way. Great. So this will allow us to build a little bit more onto the base until we can be self-sufficient. We'll need to find things like debris and asteroids around in order to mine those with the probes, in order to then manufacture things in the recycler, and then eventually, well, building a giant base. Look how gorgeous that is. I cannot stop looking at that. It looks so cool. Alright. So we can be self-sufficient in manufacturing, self-sufficient in farming. I think there's also water reclamation and whatnot. There should be really a true sandbox mode in this game where you can just build whatever you want and see how it works. Could be a good learning process too to see, you know, obviously farming is important and will allow us to be self-sufficient, but does farming require water, and if so, how much, and is there a way to reclaim the water, you know, that type of thing. Alright, the docking ship should be here soon. Let's go ahead and wait for him. Can't build anything until it's ready, but we can continue to do research at the terminal. And here comes the ship. Beautiful. While he's docking, let's go ahead and get onto research tree. I think we really should do manufacturing first, but we got to find what's out there. So the deep probe scanning will unlock the, I believe, the probe upgrade. So that'll allow us to make a dock at some point, which is down here. The hangar is what we want. We'll go ahead and research that first. Now, research is automatic once points have been generated. So if we have one scientist generating points, and let's say we needed 50, and they created 50, then we can do the research while they're asleep. So that's one helpful thing to keep everything working while we're busy working. There goes the docking ship. Now we're also going to need cleaners at some point to maintain cleanliness on the station, so we'll need people doing manufacturing and recycling, people taking care of the science, people cleaning up, and eventually a full-fledged colony of people farming, and maybe eventually being a military on board as well. Okay, where did our person go? Where's our other scientist? I don't see them. Are they both in the... Ah, they're both in the lab. Good. Well, we're going to need to build you a terminal now. So now both of you can work. Don't you go anywhere. Come back over here now. Build another one of these. Quite expensive. As you can see, it's 30 materials for that. It's crazy price. It's crazy expensive. But it's good and important. Alright. Well, that's going to be another job done. I think we could put our drone station maybe at the end. We've received 5 loyalty points for doing missions. Excellent. And a new module is available for the hangar. We did it. New device available for the probe. And new item available probe too. That's how we'll gather some things. Okay. Well, actually, I'm curious to know if we can have other trading partners. Maybe in the future we can. Outpost 07 is currently active and the one trading with us. Let's go back to the research tree. And let's try some other stuff that we might need. Advanced science, technologies, communications. We also need different tiers of science too. Not everything can be done on the first tier. Ooh, advanced life support. What does that bring us to? Airlock, large life support, recycling. Nice.
Assembly completed.
Salvage, heat control, water control, oxygen control. That's very important. We'll have to get 10 loyalty points for that though. And I'm not sure exactly how many we have right now. I don't want to start or click on anything until we know. Defenses, I think we're okay for now. We have things like the gym, large crew quarters, med bay, training, recreation, design, flower beds. These will actually help with the crew happiness as well. So that's something to go down to. Maybe we can work our way down there and eventually start on manufacturing once we've gathered enough materials. Let's see. We have, astromining? Let's see. I think this is, astro mining. Astro mining is what that, astromining. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Yes, astro mining. Gas extraction is also important. Titanium and C-type gas extraction. Deep probe scanning. Not enough research points on that. Looks like it increases your scanning speed by 30%. Wow, some of those are very hard to read. That's about as close as we can zoom in, too. I'm not able to zoom in a little close. Oh, there we are. Oh, if we just don't hover over the button, we can zoom in. Okay. So that'll be a little easier for you to read, and me too. All right, well, then we can get nickel, silicon ore, iron ore, and a few other things from astro mining. Gas extraction, too. And then we can go into titanium mining. Unfortunately, I don't see any... I just don't see anything around, so let's continue to generate science points. We'll go build a new module, and we'll go start scanning with the drones, and we'll build that receiver too. We didn't necessarily need that for anything other than communicating with the large ship, so I guess that's why we just built it very small right there. Alright, so now we need to build ourselves a docking bay, and this will allow us to launch those drones. Not the docking bay, we need the hangar, which is under the industrial tab. There it is. Some of these buildings really look the same. It shows you an empty hull. So maybe it would be a little more helpful to show you something that it does rather than just a picture of it. Solar panel looks good. That makes sense. But like, for example, the lounge and the cruise quarters kind of look the same. All right, let's go ahead and build a hangar then for manufacturing. And I think we should do manufacturing maybe off one of the life support sections. So we'll kind of build it right here into the corner. And then we could start providing oxygen to probably this area here. We'll have people go into this forward bulkhead here because it connects to the science lab. Oh, science lab seems to be out of power, which means it must be nighttime. So we'll need to build another battery too in order to more than likely power the probes. And I'm sure we're not going to have enough parts for that, so we're probably going to have to order more. Let's see here. Construction kit M's. Yeah, there's quantity of only 4 of those. Wow. We need much more, though. Actually, we need more devices. That's what we really need. 173 on those. I think we should probably buy all of those to start with for the devices. Let's go ahead and we'll start with 150. Start rather small in comparison. And there we go. I think we're okay on everything else. 150 is what we want, yes. And that was the construction D, not the water that we're selected now. Okay, water is down to 197, oxygen to 1254, so we're down about a hundo on that. So we kind of get a vibe now. We've got about maybe 15 or 20 minutes for every like 100 that they use. At least that's the feel for it, so we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on it as we go on. Alright, we need those science labs to be back up. Probably going to have to build another life support to get the probes and manufacturing and other things stored up. So let's build another one of those.
Just completed the module assembly.
Good job. Excellent work. Alright, let's try another battery section, so we'll need another small life support. 15 is all that's needed to build this. Let's go ahead and build another one here. We'll keep the life support kind of separate on the backside. This will be for power storage. And our panels over there, so I'm going to build it closer to here. This will just be batteries now. There'll be our battery backup. And I'm going to kind of make it in its own section too. So it kind of looks like it's part of this clump here. We'll put 4 of these as kind of our battery section or whatnot. Alright, docking bay is now ready to go. Or the hangar is ready to go. And we can build our probes there as soon as that's ready. And we have our devices ready to go too. Let's start by building one probe. Our probe launcher. There we go. Then we should be able to power this small section here.
Just wrapped up the assembly. Waiting for your orders.
But first and foremost, let's go ahead and try to deliver heat to the area here, the little drone hangar. There we go. And that should have power as well.
The assembly is all done. Ready for the
It does
next
look like it is providing it with energy, but just not enough since it is nighttime. The batteries are pretty much empty. So good thing we built this battery backup so it can provide more electricity. What we can do is build another solar panel out here. That might help us out. Maybe we should do that, huh? Let's go ahead and we'll put all of life support on one solar panel. So this one can be supportive of the life support. And then we can put one that supports everything else, such as the science hangar and the probes and manufacturing. So it can be independent. And one's for industry and one's for true life support. Okay, that's a good start. We'll build batteries now in here. We'll start with one battery under furniture. One battery can certainly take care of a lot. So we'll start with just the one. And what are we down to for construction materials? 190. Okay. So the next thing we'll probably want to build is the manufacturing and recycling bays. We'll have to be on the lookout for that. Probe will need power as soon as the battery is built and connected to the solar panels. So we play the waiting game again as assembly is getting done.
I just completed the module assembly.
All right. So now the battery is ready to go, ready for connection. Excellent. Now we can start charging the battery. I'm going to go ahead and make that independent of that solar panel. I want this solar panel to only charge the battery here inside the life support section. Then we're going to cut these two off from the science section. There we go. And I want this to connect to the science sections. And life support is already connected. Oh, no. I want the drone connected from this power. There we go. I think I have this right. So I want life support to only be supported by this battery here, which is supported by the solar panel on the opposite side. Ooh, big ship coming through. Very nice. Okay, so with the drone ready, we just need to connect that to the logistics now in order to get it launching. And it is already connected. Good. Alright, so then we need to have somebody come over and work that. And we also can continue to work on science while we wait, so let's slow down things. Probe upgrade increases scanning speed. That requires loyalty points, it seems, plus 5 stars. Or perhaps we generate that by doing research? I'm not exactly sure, but let's see. We can build our gym. We can build med bay, crew quarters, training centers. That probably would be very important for getting the smarts up, of course. Recreation and design. Design apparently is very important for, you know, putting down flowers and making things look pretty. It's like $2,000 per flower, at least in one of the missions. So it's like, we have 50,000. It's 2,000 to put down a bush. It does moderately or mildly raise happiness, but let's see what else is there. Repair bots. We're just taking a look at everything here. Targeting computer. A few things that might not be ready for the main game, or might be in just part of the campaign only. Water control, heating, recycling. That's end-game items. Precise assembly. And advanced pharmaceuticals there. Chemical stacks, reactors, and it looks like some more advanced stuff down here. Spectral analysis, mainframes, robotics as well, and big deals. So there we go. That's our business relations. So communications. This might be good for us. contract management, business relations. This might allow us to do something for possibly trading titanium for money, that type of thing. New supply routes, too. Well, definitely something good to research. But let's go ahead and start with crew management to make sure everybody's okay. We'll start with adaptation first. And that'll take a little bit of time. We'll take care of our crew first, and they will take care of us. Alright, so let's see. Is our drone ready to go? Who do we have on board? There might be a different type of person to operate that. We might need an operator for the drone specifically. Technicians, operators, that seems like it would make sense, right? Go back to the tab for ordering. So we look at operators, mainly controls probes, resource scanning, and drones, gas extraction. So probes and drones. Probes are for resource scanning, and drones are for gas extraction and ore mining. So we'll need a probe and a drone. Okay. Let's get somebody. Let's get a cheapie in here because we don't know what we're doing just yet. Well, we'll hire one person here. We could hire some more people, but that means more food, more oxygen use, etc. Well, it looks like there's also security too to work out bots. That must be the end game that hasn't yet been implemented, as this is coming out soon, but it looks like they got most things here. Wow, bro, nice hair. Very cool. And good health, stamina, and whatnot. Ray Perry, welcome aboard. Go ahead and get you on board. So if we need another person to operate, I suppose first we would probe, and then we'll launch drones. So we'll have to see how to do that. Some things I'm not sure about yet, so we'll make mistakes or whatnot, but it looks like this does launch probes, and it is a probe launcher. So the next thing we'll want is a drone launcher in order to go grab materials for us and do some mining. Possibly more distant mining. So there's our probe launcher. We'll have to check and research what that might require and what it'll take to do. Speed up time a little bit more. Wait for that engineer, or rather the operator, to arrive to the wonderful little docking station. I like how this, by the way, is like a little parking lot. It looks like a drive-through window. You can see the lights flashing where anybody can pull up. I would like to see some more ship variety here. It is always this ship no matter what you order for supply. It'd be kind of cool if your order was bigger. Maybe this is a thing, but it'd be cool if you made a huge order and so the ship was massive when it showed up. Or if you ordered a person, perhaps it would just be like a smaller little transport shuttle to deliver one person versus, you know, 10,000 iron or something along those lines. Science is done, and our operator is here. Operators are standing by. Good. All right, well, let's go ahead and make sure we start looking for stuff. Anything, really. So hopefully our operator can come over here and manufacture the probe. I think a probe actually... I don't think we can order a probe, can we? We at least needed this person separately, though, in order to operate it. All right, the ship is on the way. Well, we'll have to wait until it allows us to select again. And the next thing that we can finish up then is... I guess... Oh. Wait, now we can do this. Or not. Guess we gotta wait until it on docks here. Love these ships, though, by the way. They look great. All the little lights on them. Fantastic. It's something I want to fly in, like Astroneer or Star Citizen. Cool, they move around each other, too. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back to our supply. And let's see what else there is to buy. We do have to buy probes. So we'll have to buy a few of those. Looks like there's none in stock, though. Oh, station storage is what we have there is 0. Let's go ahead and order 3 of those. Oh, it's actually 1,000 each. Oof. Well, we're going to need at least 1, and I don't know how long it's going to take to manufacture, so let's do 2 on the safe side. We may also want to start buying some food for our station, but we'll wait until we need a specific order on that. Let's go ahead and order a probe, and then eventually we can start sending out drones. Hopefully. Go ahead. Ship's on the way. So now we can start finding out what's around us and start taking appropriate action to start using it correctly. Alright. Anybody grabbing food or whatnot? Ooh, we got a man here who's pretty cold. Pretty chilly, I see. Okay. Oh. Wait a minute. Some of these hubs have been disconnected. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure we've done everything correctly. May have made a mistake by disconnecting things. Oh, right, because we're using more power. These are actually out of it. Well, the game was correct then in supplying those with extra power. I'm not entirely certain if we can do that, though. Can we double power? Well, it looks like we will be able to double power. Well, let's go ahead and provide these guys with power. The crew's health and well-being is first and foremost. I was being a little ambitious, I think, with my thought, but these are already 2 of these power stations here, charging those just strictly the life support. So we'll go ahead and give this power section a little bit more power over the whole area. We do also need to build a few more batteries, to be fair, so that way the potential of the solar panels doesn't go to waste. It can provide more power to the batteries than they can actually hold right now. Let's see, these are 15, so I think we should build a full set of these just to make sure we never have power problems again. This will be like our little power plant. So we'll build 3 more of those, and then we'll go ahead and connect that to everything else to ensure everything's operating correctly. And small quarters and stuff. Isn't that weird that there's sections like that? This seems totally okay. Even in the game's tutorials, it really doesn't tell you to bother with any of that. People just pass through. So the corridors are meant to be uncomfortable, and the small passageways and bulkheads are just nothing, really, to be worried about. And even the life support section, you'd think that would have oxygen and power and heat in them for the crew if there was some sort of an emergency maintenance, but alas, no. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wait for the remaining sections to be put in, the remaining devices. Power plant's going in. I'm sure we'll be able to get some sort of, advanced batteries when we build ourselves some larger support modules, some larger life support, and thus comes the bigger batteries, the bigger ELDs. Perhaps we'll have to have storage at some point.
And ready to proceed with the next one. Ready to proceed with the next one.
All right, lots of stuff coming in now. So that should have brought us our drone now. So our drone operator should be here. The probe is ready. Gotta remember the difference between probe and drone. Probe goes out to look for stuff. The drone should be able to bring it back. Perhaps the probe can bring things too, but we'll see. All right, are these connected to the upper panel? I guess not. We'll connect these as well. So these will be our batteries, connected to everything. That's connected already. Is it not? Can the batteries be connected to each other? No. Well, we're always going to want to be connected to these.
Ready to proceed with the next one.
Now it's getting quite tedious, isn't it? Well, that's a battery there, so of course we can't connect to that. Okay, now we'll connect to these again. Now, if I missed any of these connections, it looks like you can kind of see it snap underneath. So it looks like it freely glides under anything that it did not, that is already connected to. So that's good. So we'll put this first and foremost on life support. And maybe we can get these other ones to supply the other parts of the ship, but seems to be supplying them with enough power now. And the batteries are really holding quite a bit of power here. This is good. We'll need another solar panel soon. In my opinion, I think it'd probably be a good idea to have another one, at least eventually. Now, how much would that cost us in materials? Right now we have 123. Ooh, and a solar panel costs 50. Very expensive compared to the other buildings, but also very necessary. We'll spare no expense in the construction of this space station interstellar nublar. Wow, did that look cool. A little ship passing over the top like that looked amazing. I wonder if there's any way to take screenshots in here. I'm already in love with our base. Very cool stuff. Let's get back to researching. Let's go down to the design, see if we can start decorating the place, keep everybody happy. There's very little to do here. So we'll start with decoration first, and then we'll get crew on recreation. Decoration, recreation, and then procreation. No, manufacturing. Sorry. It rhymed. I had to do it. You know I had to do it to him. Very good. Okay, well, I guess now we're just waiting for the research to complete, which will take a little bit of time. But where should we go next? Recreation will be done, then we'll go somewhere else. We can do more advanced decorations, but I think it might be a good idea to go down branch, well, maybe H eventually, but we will need to start manufacturing things, and in fact we have to first unlock it. Then we have to go into things like advanced auto mining and whatnot, which seems to be in a different spot. Ooh, what is this? Would you look at that? Cultured meat, incubator rooms. Ah, we can do farming. Perhaps we can start selling things with that beautiful RAPTORIA space station hydroponics. Very nice. We can charge a lot for beans. That'll be cool. Very nice. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for our first look at the sandbox mode and the survival mode of this game. We've got a good foothold here in space, and I can't wait to see your feedback so we can make a better tomorrow for our beautiful station and our lovely crew. You guys have been amazing. Thanks as always for your non-stop, won't stop, don't stop support. And thanks again, for being the #1 audience on YouTube. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see you next time for more Base 1. Check it out on Steam. Again, coming out on May 11th, Base 1. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.